Hi, I'm Mary Beth Wall,
And I'm Linda Smith.
and we're the co-directors of the Widows Project. And the fact that you are here right now with us tells us that you genuinely care about comforting the widows in their distress. And we want you to know that we are very grateful for you because we cannot do this without you. And you know, the Widows Project has grown exponentially in the last couple of years, and it continues to show dramatic growth right now.
The Lord has promised us that we have an inheritance, and that inheritance looks like a sea of people. And each of those people is like a book. Each book has their own story, and we care about each story.
We sure do. And we are developing a team of leaders of Zoom groups, for in-person groups for men and women. And we are currently reaching widowed people across the Pacific Northwest, across the country, and even into Canada. And we have many more opportunities beyond that.
As you know, we traveled to Uganda last year and we met with ministry leaders. We had a 3-day conference with the widowed people in Uganda, and there were 450 widows and widowers there. Sarah Kawisa is one of those ministry widows, and she has a heart for the widowed people in her community and in her country. And we have had a chance since then to participate in supporting her and her ministry. They have purchased land. They are going to build tiny homes for widows on that land. Some other people have donated goats. So these widows are going to be self-supporting.
And this was a vision of Pastor Jacob Alabai Kubo, whom we visited there, he and his wife Helen. Jacob was raised by a widow as his father died when he was very young, and so he really has a heart for these widows who are otherwise in poverty. So we want to follow up with these people and water those seeds that were sown last year, and we have many more opportunities. As I said, we've been contacted by pastors Luis and Ruth Soteros, originally from the Philippines. They've planted about a dozen churches in the Philippines and I think 3 over here in the United States, and they want us to help the Filipino people over there to learn better how to reach out to their widowed in their churches.
We also recently met a man named Emmanuel Sataki. He is a pastor in Rwanda, and his congregation is made up of 70% single women, most of them widowed because of genocide or AIDS.
Just a desperate situation there. Our hearts really go out to him. We want to be able to help. We gave him a care package with our books and teaching videos, and we want to follow up with him to see how we can help the church there in Rwanda. The Lord's been really highlighting Africa to us with South Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, and of course Linda's brother is a missionary in Tanzania, and so one of our ministry widows is going to Kenya to speak there in a crusade, and also, of course, to carry the Widows Project mission with her. So we want to go through the doors that the Lord is opening for us. In addition, we're doing a heart work training for Pastor Aaron Thompson and his team from Marysville Foursquare, who are taking a team to South Sudan to minister to the refugees there, many who are widowed and orphans. They have 60 orphans in their care. So Linda and I wrote a children's version of Heartwork that they can use to help those little children process the trauma of the atrocities that they have witnessed there.
Last week we met Father John Rodden and his wife Holly. They are from Vancouver, BC. They are taking our books back to Canada to start a widow's ministry in one of their senior homes.
A couple weeks ago, we were in Goshen, New York for the Fellowship of Christian Assemblies conference where we presented on how to make your church a healing hub for the widowed. There we met Gloria, one of the volunteers from the hosting church. She lost her husband 5 years ago and still was traumatized from his sudden passing. We were able to do a heart work session with her, and God set her free from that trauma. She was just praising the Lord all through the, the conference, and probably all through New York City.
As co-directors, we receive very little compensation for our work. We do mostly volunteer. We, the Widows Project, have hired a bookkeeper and an admin publisher, so we do have expenses. We've now published 4 books. That takes money, and we would like to translate those books into more languages. We have a couple books in Spanish, 1.5 in French. We are looking forward to translating Take Courage into Ukrainian, because there are so many widows in that country. We would also like to translate into Russian and Polish when we have the resources to do that.
So as you can see, the Lord is opening many doors for us, and we are training up teams of people to help us because we cannot do it all. It's too much for us. And that is the nature of a growing ministry. So please prayerfully consider regularly supporting us financially. If you're able, your money will go toward training churches how to develop ministries for the widowed. It will also help us with more publications, videos, translations of books, and teaching materials for the widowed.
We know that it's God's will not only to preach the good news to the poor, but to bind up the brokenhearted.
That's right.
Which we do in our in-person groups and in our Zoom groups. Isaiah 61 says, we're also to set the captives free, which we do especially with heart work and inner healing prayer.
That's right. So as we walk with brokenhearted people through their personal valley of the shadow of death, eventually the Lord does give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. It's just amazing to see, especially after our heart work retreats, how people come in so burdened and sad, and they leave just praising the Lord and so full of love and hope, because God sets them free from the actual trauma of losing their loved ones. Those retreats cost money too. And so if you want to help support us as we reach out as missionaries of Sunrise to help the widowed around the world, we would really appreciate your regular financial support.
We're asking you to stand with us so that we can continue to reach out to people like Desta, who lost her husband 3 days ago. We were there for her then, and will be there for her as she walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
That's right. So your gift today will encourage us to carry on with the ministry to which God has called us. Some of us will go, some of us will give, and some of us will pray. So would you please prayerfully pray about what your role is in reaching out to the brokenhearted? Thank you so much, and God bless you.